Have you often wondered what it's like to get plastic surgery? In this video, we are talking about my 3-month post-surgery update. If that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. Welcome back. Christine Byer here, licensed esthetician for 21 years. And as many of you know about, well, it was St. Patrick's Day that I had surgery. And I wrestled with it quite a bit because I was pretty happy with where my face was from all the fibroblast and the care that I had taken of it. But my one thing is that I never had a chin. And so I'm going to link to a playlist explaining that agonizing decision and how I just went for it. I was like, it's the pandemic. Nobody sees you anyway. So I just went for it. And I had a chin implant. I had neck liposuction. And then they did a facelift. So it's like a neck and mid facelift. So the sutures came all the way up to here. You can kind of see them. Can you see them? I don't know. Oh, and I got an earlobe lift because I had these big floppy ears inherited from my dad. Many of you may know that earlobes grow as we get older. Not fair. They thin out and they'll grow. So I had those shortened, which I am tickled pink. I still have to wait. I have to wait to 6 months to get them re-pierced because she cut the pierce right out of it. It's still in a little weird phase. I think when this gets healed up completely, another 3 months, I'll do some microneedling to sort of, it's probably just me being a pain, being my biggest critic. But some unintended things did happen after the surgery, and things that I would never even think of. The week post, you feel like you can't move your head, right? You can't. To turn in traffic is really hard. You're really supposed to take that first week off. I believe it's more like 3 weeks before you're feeling up to doing much of anything. As many of you know, I popped a stitch and it was all the way down a suture line, and so I still have this little sort of lumpy area here where that's still healing. I don't know if it's going to settle down and go flat, but I'm okay with that. It's not big of a deal. And then when I put my neck up, I have like a little platysma band right here, and I never really had that because I always had a full neck and a very tiny chin. So they put that little chin implant to get some projection for me because I never really had a profile. It was always kind of like whoop. So that's healing. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I just assume that's just a blip that happens in surgery because this side is completely smooth when I put my neck up. And you really only can see it when I go like this, you know. So that's not a big deal. I have been trying to sort of massage that out, and it's helped a little bit, not a lot. I think my biggest surprise, besides feeling really constricted, and because it's like somebody takes a harness and then puts your foot on your head and yanks the harness up, right, and then ties it, and then you feel like you're like this, right, and it's just such a tight feeling. And I couldn't even get like a face down chiropractic adjustment until just like, I don't know, a month ago. And it was 2 months out, and I could not put my face in a cradle. Every day that gets a little less, but you're so totally aware of your neck. I mean, I talk about my neck, and I've been very aware of my neck because that's sort of the whole reason for my channel, right? That's not the whole reason, but I talk about necks a lot on this channel. But to think about it involuntarily, it's like it's so tight that it's just, I don't know, it's just so uncomfortable. And I was talking to my friend, she's client / friend, and she had it done. And that was one of the things she said that was so uncomfortable, is just being so tight. And I am back to doing my chiropractic stretches, and that's good. I do feel a lot more mobile. That gets better every day. But in the beginning, it's so uncomfortable. Let me tell you what happened. I went to the chiropractor. This was the end of May. I go every week, and at the end of May, they do a progress report every 3 months, which I think is wonderful. This is a great office. They are on the ball. They're just such professionals over there. The chiropractor, he asked me, he's like, when did you have your surgery? And I'm like, March 17th. And he's like, wow, I think something's going on here. I think your body went into hunch mode, like this. And I'm like, well, that makes sense, because if you would feel what it feels like to have all that skin yanked up and then stitched up around the ears, that's what it feels like. You feel like you're kind of like this. So he said, because look at your x-rays. And I'm sorry, I couldn't get better pictures. If you look at it, you'll see that my forward flexion is better. So forward flexion is when your head is forward. It's tilted forward, and that's from cell phone use and computer use. It's just from tilting your head down. We get this forward flexion is what they call it. And so your head is actually forward. He's like, so your forward flexion is better, but your C6 area is worse. This is editing Christine, and I realized later that you can't really see much in these unless you're a chiropractor, but basically my hump became more pronounced over 3 months. So if you look at this, you'll see how my hump is actually worse. And I was like, oh no, this cannot be. I am not getting my face back and giving up my back. That's just no. It's like, I'm not giving up my back for my face. And it just seemed so crazy that that would happen. There's this thing that he gave me last year, and I've been trying to use it, but for whatever reason, it would give me aches and pains in my arms, and then I'd have a lame arm the next day. But it's called the dinner roll. Here is my dinner roll. It's actually, oh, the shoulders go on this side, but it is the dinner roll. I guess it's, the guy's last name's Dinner or something, Din something, that made it. He's Australian, and you see how this kind of looks like a roll? And this goes on your back. Like, he told me to put it right here, but I could put it anywhere back here to help with this hump. It has been helping. I'm so happy I can finally use this. I don't know if because I got on thyroid medication, or my doctor has been helping me tweak my hormones, and it doesn't kill me like it did before. I don't have all the weird zings. So I would not recommend this unless you are under chiropractic care, because it is heavy duty stuff. I mean, you need to lay on this, and then you put your legs out straight. So there's a lot of pressure there. And over a period of a couple months, it's going to, you work up to about 15 minutes a day, but it's going to help with this. I feel like it's helped a little bit already as far as how it feels. I mean, it just feels looser. You know, if you think about how I'm working on clients all the time, I just so hunched over. So this is my hunch over revenge, the hunchback revenge. So anyway, yeah, that was really not something I thought about. When you get surgery, you don't think that something like this is going to happen. Besides that, I'm pretty happy with the results. I caught myself the other day, a reflection of me when I was in the kitchen, and I was like, who is that? Because I had a jawline. I was just like, who is that? It's just still sort of crazy to me that I have that. And surgery, I think, had I completely listened to them and just taken it easy, I wouldn't have pulled those stitches. And the recovery process wasn't horrible. And now that I'm 3-4 months out, I am glad that I did it, but it was a hell of a process. And taking care of businesses about that time and making videos, it was a lot. They say that it takes a whole year for your body to heal everything underneath, which I believe it, because I still, well, you know, I've been doing a lot of LED lately. It's not achy, because sometimes it will just be achy around the incisions. But I've done so much LED lately that LED is anti-inflammatory, so it is really helpful when you're going through a healing process. So yeah, I am actually pleased with my end result. It's just a big decision. I don't know if I would tell people to go for it themselves. It just depends on what you've got going on. If you have support, if you have time for the downtime, I would just say make sure to clear out your schedule of any unnecessary stuff for the next month or two, because you really need that time to heal. A lot of people want to know how much it costs. It was way less expensive than I thought it would be. I didn't go to this big glamorous place. I think her place was glamorous. Dr. Winslow, I think it was glamorous maybe 20 years ago, but she's been doing this for a long time, and she is very good at what she does. She convinced me that getting the chin implant would be, because I just didn't want to look weird, I want to look like Jay Leno or something. And she's like, no, it's going to fit your face. You're going to look like you, just a little bit better. And she also said that I needed this extra projection to get this skin to come up. So even with a lift, the skin's not going to come up if I have this little itty bitty chin like I had. So that took some convincing, but now that the swelling's gone and it feels almost like a natural part of my face. But so many people have asked me for this update on a post-surgery update. And yeah, it's a hell of a process to go through, and I'm just now getting to the point where I'm really glad I did it. But I also have to say, facelift does nothing for skin quality. So if you have crappy skin, you're gonna have the same crappy skin. They're just gonna cut it off and move it around. So always take care of your skin. Please take care of your skin. Always wear sunscreen. Always take care of your skin. Because if you do decide to get a lift, you could say now in your 40s, if you're in your 40s or 30s, like, oh, I'll never do that. You could even be in your 50s and saying, oh, I'll never do that. But never say never, because you really never know how you're going to feel in 10 years, 5 years, 7 years. You just don't know. And I never really thought that I would do it. And I was pretty happy. I think I had my face looked good. And that's the thing. I think people notice skin quality before they even notice how old we are. They'll notice face shape and skin quality. So really take care of your skin, because no matter what, whether you go non-surgical or surgical, it's what people notice. I'm going to insert some before and afters here. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye now.